everybody. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing night or day wherever you're tuning in from. Guess what? This is global. There's people all over the world that are on here. So thank you for tuning into the Keto Mom page. We love having you. We love seeing so many of your names over and over again. And so it's super encouraging and it's fun to watch you on your journey as well. So as you're tuning in, where are you tuning in from? So our family's in Kentucky. If you have been here for a while, you know our family travels all over the place. And so sometimes we're in Minnesota. I heard they got like a lot of snow, so we're in Kentucky right now. But where are you tuning in from? How are you doing? The topic of tonight is simply this. How do you feed your family on a budget? Or what are some tips or tricks that we could use to help save some money? So does anybody have that question? That is something that kind of has been coming in or asked quite often. And so that's what we used to really ask ourselves years ago as we dove into eating healthy. Oftentimes people think healthy food, expensive food, I can't feed my kids that way. How is our entire family going to do this? So we're going to give you some tips and tricks to help you with that. Now, if you're like, I know how to do this, I've got the secrets. This is about collaboration. It's not just about what I say or our family does, but collaboration is currency. What does that mean? It's great to have you share your tips and tricks as well. So as you hear me maybe sharing what our family does, what do you do to help save money or to cut costs or to maybe eat healthier on a budget? So there are a lot of large families on here, a lot of homeschool families. We homeschool. We have 4 daughters. We homeschool. We share this ketone conversation with you, and we absolutely love it. So let's dive in. I wrote a couple of them up here, and I also just shared it with you in the title of the video. But number one is plan your meals. So I love to treat Sundays as a plan or prep day, whatever works for you. Everybody has different work schedules, but we choose Sunday. And so the biggest thing I like to tell people is, and I didn't do a very good job at this. I was one of those people years ago who would get bored with food. I used to get out a big calendar and I felt like I had to have 30 different meals. We were bored of foods. What's something new we could make? And I've just had a different shift of food and food being fuel and finding things that works for our family. And it's okay if it's 7 meals that we rotate through. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But don't feel like this doesn't have to be overwhelming. Take a couple tips and implement it into what you're already doing. So here's your number 1 tip. Go through your refrigerator once a week. What is hiding back in the freezer? What do you already have? Use the foods that you have, even if you're like, I don't want to have that. Too bad. It's in your fridge, right? So the biggest thing I tell people is plan your meals. Go through your refrigerator. Go through your freezer. What do you already have? What are the meals that you could make out of that? And then write a list. So before you go to the grocery store, write a list so that you're not guessing. I often do that. If I guess, I come home with way too much stuff, and usually I'm missing one ingredient for that meal. I heard a really funny, I was listening to a podcast or a book today, and men, I'm not trying to pick at you, but I was listening to a podcast and he had said, hey, did you know statistically, let me see if I can say the word, statistically, if you send your husband or your spouse, or if a man goes to the grocery store, it was like 73% of the time, they will come home with way more that was on the list, and they're more likely to come home with some junk food. So if that's you, guess what? Don't go to the grocery store without a list. But I heard that and I kind of giggled because I kind of thought of my husband, and I think he would do that. Maybe he wouldn't, but I actually think he might. Bring flowers. What?
Bring flowers.
My husband does bring flowers. And if you do not have, you're not going to see my husband right now, but he's on the other side of the camera. You often hear his voice. And so anyways, where are you tuning in from? Press the share button below, because just so you know, there's a lot of people that ask this question and are looking for ways to eat healthy in their entire family, but also save some money. So number 1, plan your meals, make a list when you go to the grocery store and have it all set out for you. Go through your freezer so you know what you already have. Number 2, I love Aldi and Costco. So I love them for both different reasons. I think Aldi is a great grocery store because they actually have some really good prices on food. Anybody shop at Aldi? And they're actually getting more organic, whole foods if you're looking for just some good produce. Aldi is a great option. Bring your quarter so you don't forget your quarter, right? So you can have a shopping cart. And then I love Costco. Now here's the deal. I rarely get out of Costco without spending $300 to $500. But if you plan it right, and if you look for some good deals, you can put a lot of the stuff in the freezer that will last you for more than 1 week. So whether it's meats or frozen vegetables, different things like that, you can plan all of that and throw it in the freezer. Okay, those are 2 of my favorites. Number 3, don't shop when you're hungry. Self-explanatory. When I'm hungry and I shop, I usually grab more. So that's not on my list. Number 4, pack your lunch. Who usually goes out for lunch for work? So simple things. Do you have access to a fridge? Do you have access to even like a special drawer in your desk? Pack it for the entire week with snacks and different things so you're not grabbing things out of the vending machines. Maybe you're not going out for lunch with coworkers. Pack your lunch. You're going to save yourself some money. Also, not going out to eat. I know that most people don't count the nickel and dimes when they go through the drive-thru or grab their kids' chicken nuggets, or maybe you're grabbing whatever it is you're grabbing every single day or a couple days because it's $5 here and $10 here, but that adds up. And so don't go through the drive-thru. Don't go out to eat. We told our girls, like, we're really honing in on going out to eat for a couple of reasons. When we go out to eat, it's probably anywhere from $75 to $100. And I usually can make it better at home. It just takes a little bit more time. And we save money. So try not to do that. We always look for little Groupons or coupons or things to help with that, or it's a fun special occasion. A couple more things. Okay, I touched on this in the beginning. Anybody out there feel like you get bored with food, you need 30 different ideas? I was like that, and what I found is I find the meals that everybody loves that are more cost effective. So taco nights, super cost effective, right? For especially big families. What are some meals that you make that are great meals for the entire family, that are healthy, right? That are a cost-effective meal. So tacos are great. Lasagna, you can make a keto lasagna is great. My kids love chicken tacos, so we've got chicken dip. And so different things like that. You can stock up on vegetables. Here's a couple other fun things. When it's nice and spring out, you can do local farmers markets. You can plant your own garden. There's so many things that you can do to help you save some money. So one more tip. I kind of feel like it's a twofold. I love to bring our kids to the grocery store because they get to learn, right? It's a learning of, like, I show them how to flip things over, to look at the package. The tip is to flip. But also, what happens when your kids are at the grocery store? You might grab a couple extra snacks. You might grab some things that you don't want because you find yourself eating it. And so all of these things are little tips to help you on this journey. There's lots of ways that you can save money. Here's the biggest thing too. Eat your leftovers. I have found more people, it's crazy, that don't like their leftovers, or they find things shoved in the back of their fridge that's 3 days old and they should have eaten it the day. So it's all about thinking food is fuel, right? I'm going to tell you something really funny. My husband tonight, I made steak and asparagus, and he was like, I don't really feel like steak. And I'm like, eat your food. We're eating our food. He's like, I really want something else. I'm like, it doesn't matter. We made steak. It's delicious, right, babe?
Wasn't a ribeye.
It wasn't a ribeye. It was a sirloin. He prefers a ribeye. But sometimes I think we just get in this, like, I want something else. I'm bored of my food, right? But if you're really on a budget, pick those meals that everybody loves and stick with it. So we probably have 10 meals that everybody loves, and that's what we eat, and it's completely fine. Now I've got one more tip for you. I did post a whole bunch of tips up in the in the video description, so you can go up there and look. There's some more that I haven't shared. What are your tips that help you save money when you're grocery shopping or feeding a big family? Post below, and then like some of your favorite meals. Share the button, post share as well, because sharing is caring. And lastly, here's my last tip. How often are you snacking throughout the day? If you're eating healthier, if you're eating a high fat, low carb, fats aren't there for you to binge on all day long, or even like these keto snacks, but they're there to help create satiety. That's a big word. I don't even love it. But eating like an avocado or eating a handful of almonds or something like that's there to keep you fuller longer. But if you're eating a little bit of fat in your meals, you really shouldn't be snacking, which therefore you shouldn't be going through a ton of snacks, which therefore you should save money on your groceries. I hope this is making sense. So I just wanted to give you a couple tips and tricks on things that you can do to help create or help with your budget. I would love to have you share yours below as well. So with that, We're going to let you go. I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful night. I look forward to scrolling through and looking at all of your ideas. Have a great night, and we will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.